I want to talk to you about tools. Now, my mum used to always say to me when I'd whinge about anything that I'd got, bad workman always blames his tools. But let's face it, we know as equestrians, the tools that we use make a massive difference. Just look at brooms, for example. So how do we make sure that your business is super efficient? Let's check your tools and make sure that you've got everything that you need in place. Just in case we haven't met already, I'm Jenny Bush, aka the Equine Business Assistant, and I've been helping equestrian business owners to create stable businesses since 2018. Okay, so let's think a little bit about the tools that you'd have around the yard, tools that you have for your stable, for example. So you're going to need to have something to store water in, and the same in your business. You're going to have something to store your client details in. That is called a CRM, or a customer relationship management system. Now, it can be as simple as a spreadsheet, or it could be a complicated paid piece of software, or it could be something like Streak, which works with your Gmail, or you could use an Airtable database. But make sure that you've got somewhere to store everybody. Now, with a bucket, it's really easy to spring some leaks, isn't it? And with client information, it is so important we are aware we've got to be really careful with people's data. And that means that we've got the right data policies in place, and also that we're aware of our GDPR responsibilities. I'm not going to go into GDPR in massive detail, but if you need some more support with GDPR, I do have some contacts that I can put you in touch with to help you with your GDPR requirements. But make sure that you're aware of how you're going to store everybody's data, that it's going to be super safe, that you're not going to share it with anybody, that you're going to make sure you've got passwords and everything, and you're going to tell people how you store it. It is so important in this modern age that you actually do keep electronic records of people's data, because as part of the GDPR requirements, people can ask for you to delete all of their data. So you need to have a way that you can do that, and it's much harder to do it if everything's on paper. Whereas if it's saved in a system, you can erase data really easily, and you can unsubscribe people. So I would suggest that you do get a good CRM solution. The other thing when we're talking about data is it's really important that you're actually registered with the Information Commissioner's Office, especially if you're here in the UK. It is a requirement that you register with them as a data controller, because you are essentially looking after people's sensitive data, even if you're just a riding school or a small business. You can go to the Information Commissioner's Office online, just do a Google search, find them. They've got a questionnaire which will help you to work out whether you need to register or not, because not all businesses, especially some charities, are required to register, but the chances are that you will. So do go and check that out and pay your fee so that you're aware of your legal requirements when it comes to people's data. So other tools that you need, so like if we were going into our stable, we're going to muck out every day, we need to be able to make sure that we do the absolute essentials. So that's what I'm going to call skipping out. So that's making sure that we've got a marketing system and some tools that will help us to market our business better. So these tools are things like your website, Facebook pages, Instagram, Twitter, those sorts of things. And then to make that even better, to upgrade it, think about what tools that you can use to schedule those things to make them really easy. One of the things that I've been using, and is part of what I'm going to be sharing in my course, Breaking in Your Equestrian Business, will be my Airtable suite. So I have a stable manager suite, I call it, which is an Airtable database, and in that I've got the CRM, I've got my marketing system, I've got my content system, I've got my social media content, and it is automatically set up to just push out using a little tool called Zapier. And if you're not techie, I know this can sound a little bit tough, but actually once it's set up, it's super simple and it's not as hard as you think it is. And you can basically connect some apps, some software that you you can use Zapier to connect it to another software so that you're not duplicating tasks, because there's so much duplication and we need to make sure that we're efficient. We know that our horses thrive when we've got routine and we're efficient, and it's the same with your business. How do we make that into a stable business? We make it a bit more efficient. We find ways round these things, and there are ways. We're going to think about the upkeep now. We're going to think about the upkeep. We want to have a big pile of money in your business. We want to have a big pile of money. So you need to have an accounting system so that you can sort it, so that you can know where everything is. If it's not, you're going to end up with a big pile of poop. Quite simply, you're going to end up with a big pile of poop. So make sure you've got an accounting system in place. Again, there are some great things to help you manage your money in your business. So one of the things that I use, again, is I use my Airtable to do my accounting. But you can use a Google Sheet. You could use a platform like Xero or QuickBooks or Wave to do your finances and your accounting on there. And my bonus tip is to get a really good business bank account. I am a really big fan of Monzo. Monzo allows you to do pots. So when you get money, and it's very tricky, especially when you're in business, sometimes the money is like hit and miss and here and there and everywhere, and it's really hard to keep the money stable. Whereas when you've got an account like Monzo, you can decide what key pots you need. So you could have one for bills, one for wages, one for profit, and you can split your money into those pots so that you can make sure that you can bring it down and make it stable, so that you're not going from feast to famine all the time because you're spending all the money. Quite important. So you need a financial system and financial processes. Other things that are really important tools wise is having somewhere you can put all your operating procedures, like everything that happens in your business. Document it. Even if it's just you at the moment, it makes you so much more efficient. Especially, like, I find I don't like doing my finances, so I only do them like once a month, but actually I go to the folder and my folder has got my procedure straight there, and I just follow that, and I'm so much quicker. It stops me going into that I hate doing this moment. It just makes it super simple and easy. So start to write down everything that you're doing. Keep a standard operating procedures manual. That could be a notebook. Again, that could be in a database or a spreadsheet, but it will really help. Another tool that I think most business owners forget, and it's quite a good one, is a key performance indicator tool. So this is where you actually track the numbers and the data, because we can't improve what we don't know. And so often I'll say to people, they'll say, oh, I've got no engagement, I've got no whatever. And I'll ask to see the numbers, and they haven't got them. They're just working off a hunch. And you might find actually you're doing better than you realised. Like recently, one of the clients, she's had a bit of a slow month. She's not hit her target this month, and every single month we've been pushing up. And so it was easy to go, oh, I've been rubbish, I haven't hit my target. But because she's been tracking her figures, she could look back to this time last year and she can still see she is up 30 to 40% on last year. So actually it isn't as bad. So make sure you've got a place, a system, a tool that will help you to track those figures that are important with your business. Because the numbers, even if we think we're no good at it, numbers matter. It's no good just looking at one set of numbers. You need to have a lot, you need to have all the numbers. You need to be able to see the patterns. So just every month, sit down, end of the month, just note down all the numbers. Another tool that's a really good one to have is something for task management. So it's just where you keep a track of all your tasks. Like for me, I have my nail it planner. I have these nail it planners, right? And because I am a pen and pad girl, and so I will often keep a list of my master tasks in the back, and then every week I will go and look at what I've got, and I will plot it out on my weekly planner, which tasks need to happen this week. So just a simple task system like that, a simple tool that will help you to manage your tasks, will make a massive difference. The other way that I also manage my tasks is I've got a list on my Airtable, so I can just add in on my phone little tasks there and I can look at that. But again, try to not have too many systems. There's so many options for you out there. You can have Airtable, you can have Asana, Monday.com, you can have Trello, you can have a Google Sheet, you can put them in your notes, you can put, and that's going to be too much. Pick one, stick to it. That's my advice for you. Pick one, stick to it. Don't get yourself overwhelmed on your task tool. Another tool that's really, really useful in your business is a feedback tool. So this is something like a form where you can send it to people and you can get feedback, and you can just ask some key questions and then get them to reply to those questions. It will help you to improve your business because you'll understand where they're at. It might help you to come up with new ideas, or if something's not right, put it right. If you don't ask for feedback, you can't get that. So some good ways of getting feedback. Again, I love my Airtable form. I've embedded that into my website. It makes it super simple. You could even set up a Google form and send that out to people. You could have a feedback tool that is simply a template on your email, on your Google email that you send out when people get to somewhere. But do make sure you've got some sort of tool to get feedback, because without feedback, we might not improve as quickly as we'd like to. So I hope this has helped you to think a little bit about the tools that you could be using in your business to improve it. I always like to think about my Gallup strategy when it comes to choosing tools. So we've got G, getting in front of people. What tools do you use at the moment to get in front of people? Then your aids to sell. So what are your sales tools? How are you taking payments at the moment? Could you improve that? You know, as simple as going to Stripe and getting a subscription plan could change the whole cash flow of your business. So look at how you're getting money in at the moment, because there are lots of sources that are inexpensive and won't cost you a lot or make you have to set up merchant accounts and everything else. So check out your payment tools. How are you applying your aids to sell? Tools to look after you. Now this is quite an important one. I think sometimes we often forget that we are so important in our businesses, in the fact that if we can't look after ourselves, we can't run our businesses well. So tools to look after you could be as simple as getting yourself a little timer so that you actually stop work on time. It could be making sure you've got better lighting, getting yourself a new chair so that you're comfortable when you're doing your work. Go over everything that you're using in your business for you, and could you upgrade it? Like, how many times have you struggled on using a wonky wheelbarrow or one with a flat tire, and actually you're making life harder? So just let me know in the comments, is this making sense? Leave a hashtag tools so that I know that this is working for you, if this makes sense. We don't need to make it harder, but unless we take time to look and to fix these things, we'll never know. So looking after you, tools to look after you, then tools to look after your clients. So again, this could be your email system. This could be your CRM system. This could be, again, going back to your payment system. Is that working for your clients? Do they find it really hard? I mean, are you still making them pop a check in the post and whatever? Could you upgrade it? Would it look after them better? So look after your clients. Then your operations and procedures tools. So how are you doing the back end of the business? How are you running everything? Are you still trying to do everything on an old Excel spreadsheet, and could you actually get a better system for your accounting? And then looking at your profit, your pricing, your money tools. That could be going and getting yourself a better accounting system, getting yourself a better banking system, getting yourself a better bank account. You know, so how many bank accounts are stinging businesses? If you're paying a lot of money on there, go and look at different options. And it's so important that we look at our tools, we upgrade them, because we know with good tools we can be better at our businesses and we can up our income. So if you enjoyed this and got value from it, please do be sure to hit the subscribe and the notification bell so that you get notified the next time I drop another episode of the Equine Business Show, so that you get my best tips on how to build a successfully stable business. So share lots in my Facebook group, the Equestrian Business Support Network. So head over to Facebook and come and say hello. I often do little lives, we have networking, and you can get support from thousands of other equestrian business owners. And if you're really serious about building a stable business, head to jennybush.com and register for my free training. But for now, Till the next episode, kick on.